Well, welcome here to round number 4 of the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series. We're 2 hours west out of Brisbane at Morgan Park Raceway, just outside of Warwick. I'm Matt Kavanagh. Stephen White joining me. A fantastic round, and what a facility this is.
Yeah, magnificent, Matty. Fantastic track. When you look at it, you think, gee, is it going to be tight? But gee, it's a fast little racetrack, and some of these guys, particularly our TA2 guys, are finding that out really quickly.
Mate, there's been some fantastic racing already this weekend. Of course, we've got 7 categories here and over 130 entrants. Can you believe it?
Yeah, amazing. You know, the Queensland motorsport, if you like, the public and certainly the competitors, is a magnificent group. And they're so keen to do some motorsport. So when, you know, we've obviously put the lifeline out and said, well, we're going to run the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series here at Morgan Park, and they all came running. So fantastic. Yeah.
We've got the replica tourers coming your way this afternoon, as well as the RX8 Cup Series. Now, that has been fantastic. Of course, Yellow Express supporting that throughout the series. They joined us in round number 1. They're back again for round number 4. God, they put on some great racing.
Yeah, great category that. You know, production cars are really based off the showroom floor, and fantastic racing. And certainly Justin Lewis has been pretty dominant, but he's been heavily pushed by Tom Shaw and others. So fantastic racing this weekend.
The Queensland Touring Car Championship always up there, and of course the Legend Cars Australia joining us for the first time before we go to our final race. 20 laps for the TA2 Muscle Car. Let's have a look at the Hi-Tec Oil's highlights over the replica tourer Trophy Series, and it was, well, Woodward who took away early there at the start, and then we saw Jason Clemens fighting, but here it was, which has put an end to our race where it's finished under safety car, and of course that was Brian Smallwood in the Mechanics Toyota 86. It looks like a terminal engine failure there. It has left some fluid on the racetrack, which means we have had to finish this race under safety car. Very unfortunate for the replica tourers who have put on such a fantastic show here this weekend as part of the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series. Big congratulations to the replica tourers for another strong field here at the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series. We saw them at Queensland Raceway. They've come here to Morgan Park, and we can't wait for them to join us in the future once again. But our next category we're going to get onto is the Yellow Express RX8 Cup Series, round number 4 for them. What a race we had last time. Tom Shaw, a few words to say about how he came in second place.
Yeah, they're going to start up front again. Justin Lewis off the front row alongside Tom Shaw, who had a little bit to say after that last race. Luke Webber, Jake Camilleri from the second row, Justin Barnes, Terry Lewis from row 3, Ben Shaw, Brock Payne from row number 4, Ben Silvestro and Miles Bergoglio from the 5th row.
Yeah, well, then we'll go back to Thomas Derwin, Jamie Canellis, Maisie Place, who's pretty keen to get out. She's been pit crewing on about 5 or 6 cars down there at the moment. Martin Lyle, David Grice and William Ham will round out our 16 cars here this weekend. 8 laps in this race, so you don't have a lot of time. We know Tom Shaw's been really good on tyres in the back half of the race, and he moves right over there. But look at Justin get the move done. He has taken away, and is that Camilleri in the background?
Camilleri's gone backwards. Camilleri went backwards in the 82. He got a dead set shocker.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him too, racing in 2 categories this weekend. Also in the Queensland production car there, and the number 5 goes off. That's the Australian Hotel young Jamie Canellis, who's just got off the track there for a bit of an excursion into the dirt. Look at this covering already, Justin Lewis. He's not going to miss out on a 4th win.
He's looking for the clean sweep, and let's see what Tom Shaw. So, look, the first part of the equation for me is that Shaw needed to try and force the issue off the race start, but Lewis just schooled him off that standing start, and it's status quo out in front with Lewis leading in the number 50 machine, sorry.
Luke Webber rounds it out in 3. He was 3rd last time out there as well. Now we go back to Barnes there, who's in 4th position. Terry Lewis in 5th, so his brother's up in the lead. He's a bit further back, and he's really been struggling to get into that top 3. He's definitely shown some pace, but then a few minor errors here and there just puts him back a couple of positions, and he has to work his way back through the pack. Have a look at this down the back. Maisie Place in that number 80 also having a bit of work to do. Well, it's exciting. They come out of turn number 10 now hard on brakes into there as the right-hander, and they'll head up to 11 and 12. Now, I've heard this called a number of names this weekend, but it's really a crisscross there, and they go over all that curve. Wow, they're 2 wheels up in the air as they come out of there. Look at this. They're still fighting out. Brock Payne and Terry Lewis. They are exchanging that position number 5.
I've got a new name for that sequence.
It's like tennis. It's just back and forth. Luke Webber now closing the gap down to Shaw as he goes out wide. It's what we saw last time. Try and sets himself up for the right-hander. Try and get the right. Oh, no, he's off again. Out in the dirt, doing a bit of landscaping, throwing some gravel out on the track.
That was off the exit of 2.
Fortunately, though, Canellis out of Young not having a great race this time and getting a little bit loose out there, having a good time. Well, he'll be upset about that one. He was right in the mixed middle of the pack. Forces his way back down a little bit, but looks like he's got that back under control now. Oh, look at the understeer there as he turns it in, though. So maybe he might have hurt some tyres in the process as well.
Well, he's definitely picked up some material on the tyres. Here is the Hi-Tec replay. This is 5 getting it completely wrong. Yep, there's not a lot of grip out there, as he just found. And he's dragged even more. Oh, look at all the gravel. That has gone right across the race circuit.
Yeah, well, it could be called...
Oh, Webber's closing the gap. So that was out to a second. He's just chewed half a second down Lewis, who has definitely gone to fence. Webber's right on his back bumper here. Webber is the fastest driver on track. He just did the fastest lap of the race at a 28.92. And he could be in with a chance here if Lewis, he can force him into a mistake. Shaw's all but given up. He's dropped right off the back of the leading two. Can Webber spoil the clean sweep for Lewis? Has a little, you're not going to make a pass through there. Well,
you can force a pass.
Never say never. Webber has a look up. Lewis up the inside. Lewis with a little brake lock up again. But he's very, very good off the exit off 10 as Shaw. So little mistake there, I reckon, from Webber. And I think this is going to be status quo. 4 from 4 for Lewis. I don't think Webber's got the momentum up over the top of the hill. There's gravel all over the main straight this time, and it will be Lewis. He's got everything flashing. 4 wins from 4 starts, and oh yeah, it was a little bit going on towards the end of that one.
All I want to know is what sunglasses will he have on for this win? They're always different. The Pez dispenser of sunglasses will come out, and you never know what you're going to get. Just got him in the final moments of this race, and look at that, by just 24 hundredths of a second behind Justin Lewis, and another 0.3 of a second Tom Shaw back there. So great finish from our top 3. Justin Lewis taking the win, Luke Webber and Tom Shaw.
Justin Barnes in 4th, followed by Terry Lewis in 5th. Jake Camilleri, having started off 4th, faded back to 6th. He made a couple of spots up to improve. Thomas Dew in 11th, going back to Canales, who had an eventful race in the 5. Martin Lyle, David Grice, Maisie Place, and William Ham.
Really got to thank the Yellow Express RX8 Series for being here, the RX8 Cup, and a big shout out to Grand Prix Mazda in Caboolture for their sponsorship of this round as well. They've put on some exciting racing, and look, this man is entertainment himself who is going to come into the pit lane. I cannot wait to get down there and find it. Before this weekend, he had never top qualified and he had never won a race. Well, can you believe that?
He's ticked all those items off.
Yeah, here we go, the Hi-Tec Oils highlights, and the start was all Justin Lewis. Look at him get away. Tom Shaw, I'm not quite sure if he didn't quite get enough RPM in that and bogged the car down on the start, because to see Justin Lewis drive away that much, there must have been an error there. Now, Luke Webber took a few laps to really get the momentum of the car going. Maybe he ran with a little bit lower tyre pressure and had to wait for the temperature to come in. Some great battles there from Terry Lewis and Brock Payne as well in the early stages. Unfortunately, the number 5 car was a bit of an issue there for Jamie Canellis. He was really struggling to control. They had a couple of offs, and we saw him throw a heap of gravel out of turn number 2 here, and went all over the track. We didn't see too many dramas out of that. I thought there might have been a few more, but everyone managed to handle that really well. Now, Luke Webber in the dying couple of laps here on Tom Shaw came down the inside as they came out of 7. Now, 8 around the outside, on the inside of 9, 10, and then the run down. He managed to get the lead off, or the second place off of Tom Shaw there, and managed to hold on just at the end. And we're talking less than half a second between our top 3. What a race. You can see them congratulating each other down there, Tom Shaw and Luke Webber. What a race from them. I mean, it was really them going. Justin Lewis still out in front. No one really matched him this weekend. We know Ryan Gorton, who's won a couple of series as well with the RX8 Cup, and he's here swinging some spanners on that car this weekend, really getting the setup tune for Justin there. And he said, I want to win. As much as I love being here and the personality, I just want to win. And look at the emotion now coming out here. That's an unbelievable moment. He said earlier his mum was watching at home. Hopefully she's tuned into the coverage now as we swapped over.
Hi, Justin's.
Wow, what a moment for him. And the man to catch up with our 3 winners. A very emotional moment down there, Stephen White.
And George, to present the winner's trophy to Justin Lewis. Hi-Tec Oils sponsoring the series. Justin, fantastic. Bit of an emotional moment, mate. And another set of sunglasses, but well done.
Yeah, I'm just glad it was only 8 laps. I tell you what, this series is the one to watch. If you want to watch a close series with hard racing and great, good knockabout blokes, this is the one to watch. And I've got to say too, what a week for Australian motorsport. Van Ginsberg gets his first win in the US and Lewis gets a clean sweep. Yeah, I practiced that.
Good on you, Justin. Well done. And a fantastic category, and back to you guys. Well done.
What does Justin Lewis have in common with the American commentators? They can't say Van Gisbergen either.
Oh, you never know what is going to come out of his mouth, do you, with Justin Lewis? Another set of sunglasses, a clean sweep of the weekend. We're going to go to a short break. Do not leave the TV. We'll be back very soon. A series from Morgan Park Raceway in Queensland, and we're getting down to the pointy end of competition. The final race for the Queensland Touring Car Championships. Rob Bellinger's going to lead us out over Gary Lang. There's Chris Brown and Nathan Marks on the next row of the grid. Ben Malpass and Michael Woodcroft will fight out. Hudson James, Gary Anger, Daly Martin and Luke Beveridge on the 5th row.
Luke Beveridge having a few little issues over the weekend. Nick Linton out of 11, Murray Kent from 12, followed by Darren Dakin, Matthew Devitt, Paul Bonscora, Corso, Jason Levitt, Les Hannafin, Peter Bray and David Yanko. Both Les Hannafin and Peter Bray having issues in the last race, and Bray and Hannafin were first and second in the points going into this weekend, so that's going to hurt a little bit.
Here we go, rolling start now, 8 laps for their 4th and final race of the weekend. They're going to be side by side. Rob Bellinger has been super impressive so far. And he's got the inside line coming off a pole, under brace. Can he hold out a hard charge? And Gary Lang will have to wait and find out. He does. The horsepower advantage there in his BMW. Chris Brown's been working his way back to the pack. Look further back, and it looks like it's going to be reasonably clean. Oh, no, big spin there, though, in the Tirana.
The Tirana in the middle of traffic. The 48 and the 74 did an outstanding job to miss him. Woodcroft had got a really good start in that yellow Tirana. Darren Dakins, he's sort of lost out of that. He'd got a pretty good start in the Ultra 9 Commodore. He might be struggling to find some gears there at the moment as Beveridge has gone down the inside. How lucky was that to not have panels disappearing left, right and centre with that Tirana going around? Here we go.
Let's have a look at the real.
Oh, no, a little bit of contact. Yeah, the 16 of Malpass maybe. He might get the assist call on that one. Darren Dakin, I think the reason Darren's sort of gathering his senses was, oh man, that was lucky I didn't get involved in that one. As the 48 rejoins track as well, had to take off onto the grass, Daly Martin, and the 74 did a very, very good job. Murray Kent and that little E30 BMW. Here's Brown and Lang going at it for second and third. Ballinger, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure is looking for the clean sweep this weekend. I don't think he's been headed, has he?
The pace here, the number 19 car as he comes over the crest.
Nick Linton.
Hard on the brakes. He's got to watch out, though, because right behind him, Matthew Devitt is right there. So Matty Devitt trying to chase him down. A couple of different cars in the Commodore taking on the BMW. You know how balanced the BMWs are when they come to race cars. Morgan Park Raceway, lots of corners to get around, 12 corners. We don't see too many tracks with that sort of turning, especially where we see the angles of the turns here. There's only a couple of really sweeping corners. 7's probably really nice. 3 and 7. 9's probably the most forgiving one, where you really, it's not a sharp right-hander. You can really carry some speed through there.
And, big time sideways, power down, exit oversteer for the WSM Commodore. Uses a lot of transfer with the car side to side. Lang slips down the inside. That was a little bit awkward, and the big Commodore, I think, just struggled to get turned in, and the BMWs picked up the spots, giving each other a little bit of racing room. Side by side off the exit, the Commodore's back into the second position on the run down through 8 on the approach to 9 as the BMW got an issue because that just lost a whole heap of speed.
It's rough going out of that ripple strip, but you need to use all of that exit ripple strip if you want to go mid-line, and that's the beauty about turn 7. There are 2 lines to follow through, and the Commodore, nice run out of there. It's fast through 8 and 9, so probably with the horsepower, a bit of an advantage there, but under braking, look how much he's gained on him already, Gary Lang.
Yeah, so I just wonder if it picked up some stones and that on the tyre initially, and just he had to sort of get on the wheel to get it sort of sorted out. But Brown gets away from him in the straight line. 1 lap remaining. The last lap board is out on the flag stand. Ballinger, well, you couldn't be more dominating than this car throughout the weekend. We've seen a couple of dominant performances, but like out and out for race pace, and hasn't really had an awful lot of pressure put on him over an entire race distance. Ballinger has done an outstanding job with that BMW.
And here he comes through. We are on the final lap here of the Queensland Touring Car Championship. Great to have them joining us. They were there at Queensland Raceway for round number 3 of the Hi-Tec Super Series. They said, you know what, we're coming to Morgan Park. We want a party. And here they are, having a great time out on track. Bellinger, though, such a great weekend from him. It's really been a force to be reckoned with in the BMW.
Topped qualifying. Won the first 3 races, a couple of corners left to go here. He's going to win race number 4, unless he gets 11 and 12, totally, completely wrong. But yeah, very, very dominating performance from the number 72 driver. Outstanding stuff down through 11 and 12, giving those curbs lots of wayside. Brown is trying everything to hold off Lang. Ballinger takes the victory. 4 wins from 4 starts for the BMW. Brown's going to hold on to second, the reigning Class A Series champion, from a charging Gary Lang in that gold BMW.
And there we go, Rob Ballinger. The number 72 BMW M3, who has won this weekend here in the Queensland.
Sure, the QTCC
guys Touring Car Championship.
I'd like us to thank Brisbane Collision Centre for their support of this championship. Fantastic to have them here at Morgan Park for the 2nd consecutive round.
Let's have a look at the results up on your screen here for the Queensland Touring Car Championship. It's Rob Bellinger at the front. Chris Brown managed to get up into 2nd, Gary Lang in 3rd. Then it goes to Luke Beveridge, who gets into 4th position. Nathan Marks in 5th, Hudson James in 6th. And it's Michael Woodcroft back after that spin in 7th. Gary Anger, Nick Linton, Daly Martin will round out your top 10. Then it goes to Murray Kent, Matthew Devitt, Darren Dakin in 13, Paul Bonacorso in that XD in 14, Jason Levitt 15. Then it's Ben Malpass. Now, we're not sure why he pulled off very early in 16th position. Les Hannafin, Peter Bray and David Yanko did not start this race, unfortunately.
And Rob Bellinger, our winner. Well done. Congratulations, Rob.
Thank you. Just like to thank Queensland Touring Car Series and Hi-Tec Oils for putting on such an awesome event. My car and me communicated well this weekend, so we sort of got it across the line, and it's good to have these guys hunting me down. Yeah.
Well done, good on you, congratulations. Thank you.
Man, a few words. Let's his racing do the talking there. Rob Bellinger there in the number 72 BMW M3. What a weekend from him. Coming up next, of course, that is the Legend Cars Australia presented by Yamalube. Now, we've had some of the most exciting racing coming from the tiniest cars that we have here this weekend. 7 different categories with these ones. For the first time, they've joined us here at the Hi-Tec Super Series, and Rob Hogan has led most of the way. Ryan Pring, last year's Australian champion, is in 2nd position there. We'll start alongside him. This is going to be the 2 Scotties, Scotty Melville and Scotty Morgan, will start out of row number 2. Someone who's not there, though, is Billy Finnegan, who was leading the championship coming to this. He's going to start off the final row of the grid. Now, they had issues in the last race. Hopefully, we see him come back out there in the number 86.
Yeah, it's definitely there at the tail of the queue. So that's going to be a big charge from the rear of the field. So rolling start. Can Ryan Pring get one over Hogan? That was pretty good racing in the last one. It's all about the race starts here too, and that charge down into turn number 1. But look, Hogan has not put a wheel wrong all weekend. He's sustained so much pressure. Just the one little blip on the radar with Finnegan, I think, winning race number 2 or 3 of the weekend. I've lost count.
Yeah, race 3.
This is the 5th and final race. These guys have managed to get 5 races in, and boy, have they been entertaining as we go green with the Legend Cars Australia final.
Out in the back there, you can see them using every little bitumen, which is a bit of a runoff area there. They are parking area for some of our safety crew on different configurations. They're all the way 4 wide down the back, and you can see them moving around the 33 car there of Spice. They're just getting pushed around a little bit as well, so watch them come over turn number 3. Oh, nose to tail all the way.
You got the one a little bit further back there in the field, as Tate had some issues in the previous race as well. So watch him charging through in that blue number 1, already making positions up off the race start, as is Finnegan. He's charging his way through as well. But gee, look who's out in front, Matt. Robert Hogan.
Yeah. The question is, can Pring take it to him? He's young. He's 18 years old. I mean, he's grabbed himself an Australian title, and that's one race really out of a series. He's a bit further back when it comes to the Australian Series Championship points. Oh no, out on the dirt already, and the car is fishtailing down, and he holds on to it.
Who was that? That was a moment.
I'm waiting for it to come around so I can see who it was.
The Dayglow yellow number on the door there, the 68. The 68 of Mitchell. Justin Mitchell. Yeah, he'll be having a little think about that one, and very, very lucky to get away with not doing a lot worse to that car, having gone that far off track and that much sideways going both directions. That would have had a little bit of wheel work going. In fact, he had another moment coming into that last sequence through 11 and 12 as well.
You know what it is? It's because he's raced Speedway before.
Oh, that'll be it. Yeah, that'll do it.
He's looking for the dirt. He's going, I'm at home over here.
Pring's under pressure from Morgan. So Scott Morgan in third in that white car. Pring in that grey car with the green wheels. Robert Hogan goes through three underneath the Morgan Park Raceway Bridge. That is such a cool shot.
Look at Hourigan, though, in the background. He is making some big moves. Brendan Hourigan already up into fourth position there, as we see the number 81 of Scotty Melville has dropped back a few positions. It's very unfortunate for him. Ryan Pring's going to have to watch out, though. Has he got enough racecraft, do you think, to hold out? Because we noticed that Rob Hogan's very quick at the start of the race. Another one of these where Ryan Pring seems to get faster as the race goes on. So we were too wide in the back there. Look, a big dive down. It's almost two cars there.
That was Finnegan. That was Finnegan. Man, he committed to that from a long way back. He's already up into 8th. He started dead last. He's made up 10 positions inside the first lap.
The flying Finnegan, hey? He's really here to try and make his way. But he's into 7th already now, so he's gone up another position.
Yeah, inside of 2 laps, like a lap and a half, he's made up 11 positions. All right, so Hogan with a 2.2 second advantage over this battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, with Hourigan, the 4th car in the queue. Then you go back to the 81 of Scotty Melville, the 06 in 6th, and that is Benny Goodrich.
Of course, having the Yamaha motors on board for these little race cars. I think Ryan Pring might have lost that position now to Scotty Morgan. Really charging down that main straight. Morgan was on the outside there. Pring tried to cover him off, but he hasn't got it done. He's got to watch out, though, because Brendan Hourigan's right behind him. Great shots from under the bridge as they come over. So many different races with... Oh, he's wide!
There's a different racing line.
Well, you can race these on dirt and bitumen, these cars.
Duckworth in the 160. That's the widest run off 3 I think we've seen of anyone so far this weekend.
Check out the Hi-Tec Oils replay here, and he's right out. If you go too wide, it's a launching pad, really.
You were telling me about that exit curb at the beginning of the race meeting, and if you get out there...
I think he's missed the worst of it, to be quite honest.
Yeah, if that hasn't hurt a shock or bent a wheel, I would be very, very surprised.
Look, it'd be a rough ride inside. There's not a lot going on in that cabin. Look, I'd struggle to squeeze into one of these. We've seen guys that are over 6 foot come out of them.
Yeah, some big lads in these cars. Hogan just dominating. Look at that lead. It's out to 3.3 seconds. He's just set the fastest lap of the race at a 1:28.16. And there are some big battles through this field. The 81, a moment for that was Finnegan. He's just undone all of that hard work. He's trying to get the thing turned, and has he buried it?
I don't think he's going to be buried, but he's definitely had to pull it up. I have a... Oh, no, maybe. He's going to keep going. Was there contact? Was he coming in too aggressive? Just had to get on the brake, made a little bit of contact, unsettled the car possibly, because he's coming out in traffic now. That's unfortunate there.
Where's it dropped him back to? He's back certainly in that midfield. He was charging up. I think that was an attempted pass for 5th. As the 72 looks up the inside of the 23. Let's have a look and see what happens here. Launches it down the inside. Tried to. It grabbed the rears. It's fired the front across, and rather than try and turn it, which I think would have just spun the car around on the grass, he's tried to keep it straight. But then he's actually stalled it once it's gone into the gravel, because it sat there for a few seconds before he got it back up and running. There's a little brake lock up there for Tate in the 1. He's working his way back through the field as the 2 out in the grass, facing the wrong direction for the 2nd race in a row. Yeah. That is Steve Hourigan.
He's had a couple of moments there, Steve. He definitely has in the Taylor's Transport J&B Canvas car. Of course, previous go-kart champion in the 4-stroke series. So
here's a look at the 2 rotating.
Well, we've seen that a couple of times now from Stephen Hourigan, unfortunately. That's, we didn't want to see that. Of course, we're on the final lap, though, of this race. So, final lap.
I've really enjoyed this racing, mate. It's been sensational.
I suspect we're going to see them at many more of the Hi-Tec or Super Series rounds in the coming years.
Would not be disappointed if they turned up. I've seen these cars race on dirt. I have not seen them race on asphalt, but
it's not much different, I don't think.
They look like a whole heap of fun. And folks, if you want to get into a cost-effective way of going motor racing, check out the Legends Cars Australia Facebook page, website, and talk to the guys. They've got some new cars arriving in Australia very, very shortly, and they look like a lot of fun. And having fun here is Robert Hogan taking the final victory of the weekend with the biggest winning margin of the weekend. And we've got a side-by-side battle for third.
Who's going to be Hurricane or Pring? Hurricane will get there first, and the margin is 0.05 of a second.
Hundredths of a second. That's the gaps we used to see.
Oh, great shots above the pits here at Morgan Park Raceway. But here are your winners for the 5th and final race of the Legend Cars this weekend. Rob Hogan gets himself another win. Scotty Morgan in second. Brendan Hurricane in third. They're going to be on the podium. Ryan Pring, unfortunately, drops back to fourth after starting out of second. Scott Melville with a nice ride there. Billy Finnegan is the one, though, who dropped back all the way from last place to 5th and then back into 12th after an off. Finishes in 10th. So, bit of a yo-yo performance. Shane Tate had an interesting one, the Aussie #1. And then we go back to Justin Mitchell, Mia Bolton, Darren Bradley, Chris Spicer, Nick Taylor, Stephen Hurricane, and Hardy Martin in the 42, which looked like he had an issue. And yeah, he put the white flag up and moved over for some of the other races to come through once again.
And our winner, Robert Hogan again. Fantastic. Well done. First place.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There's your first place trophy from Tony Ward from Legend Cars Australia. Wonderful weekend, fantastic, and obviously the car's competitive around here.
It is, yeah. We found a pretty good setup for around here, and it's a great track and great place, so can't get any better.
No worries. Well done. Thank you.
Well, there it is, our round winners for the Legend Cars Australia. And Rob Hogan, once again, getting 4 out of 5 wins this weekend, gives him the round win. We're here at Morgan Park Raceway. It's round number 4 of the Hi-Tec All Super Series. Next up, we've got the TA2 Muscle Cars making it out on track. 20 laps in their final race of the weekend. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We're going to be back after this short break.
Welcome back to the beautiful Morgan Park Raceway for the 4th and final race of round 4 of the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec steel frames, and this is a 20-lap enduro. Word from the pits, Rob, unfortunately, Nick Bates will not be able to take his place out of position number 10. That will just effectively move everybody up. We'll take a look at your grid. Jackson Rice and Josh Haynes, they've been added. Can anybody stop Jackson Rice? Brad Gardner on that second row with Dylan Thomas. You got Graham Cheney and Greg Keem on the third row. Hayden Jackson and Rusty Wright on the fourth row. Mark Crutcher had a bit of a gear selector issue. He found the wrong gear in the middle of the corner and promptly spun himself out. Paul Hadley in the IES Motorsport entry. And Matty McKeldin, Paul Hadley wants to say g'day to all the boys at the Dandaloo Tavern in Dapto. They're tuned in, all the boys at the Dandaloo. What could possibly go wrong there, Rob? This is a part of the racetrack here that has been working the tyres big time. Well, has it been the driving style that has really been brutal, because we've had cars all over the shop through that part of the racetrack. Pace starts to pick up. Canberra's Josh Haynes up against Albury Wodonga's Jackson Rice. Paul Hadley back with Matt McKeldin. 4th and final race of the weekend for round 4 of the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec. Watch those red lights go out. And we mat it down into turn 1. Haynes clearly got the advantage going into turn 1. We take a look at McKeldin. Oh no, Rice! We got cars going everywhere. Rice will rejoin in second last. There's going to be more to that story. Haynes, your leader, from Thomas, from Gardner, from Jackson. Rusty Wright rips up the inside of Graham Cheney. I wonder, Rob, what happened in turn 1?
I don't know. I'd like to see the replay of that. Couldn't see any contact, but we'll wait and see what happens.
It was a ripping start from Josh Haynes, no doubt about that. The Beaches Sea-Doo entry. He got told off by Josh's mum. She said, I'm not letting go. Oh! And they're not explained what actually happened. Apparently it gets her a bit nervous. McKeldin runs a bit wide. He's got Jackson Rice in behind him. Dylan Thomas, Brad Gardner, Hayden Jackson. So Hayden doing a good job inside the top 4 right now. He worked lap 1 of 20. Rob Leonard, these look like such great cars to drive.
Absolutely fantastic. You're a bit surprised at how technical they are, but they've got so much power. They slide, they breathe fire. They're fantastic.
Main straightaway action. Rob Leonard is joining me in commentary. He would normally be out there, but unfortunately, this very nicely turned out Access line marking equipment Municipal Works sponsored car is not out there. We're going to talk about your message very soon and about how you base that whole gorgeous colour scheme. Let's keep our eye on what's going on these early laps. Haynes, Thomas, Gardner, Jackson, Crutcher. There he is in the 4-car. Wow. Giving Hayden Jackson something to think about. The 26-year-old from Maitland or Maitland Vale in the Hunter Valley in New South Wales, driving the Maitland glass and windscreen entry, doing a good job. Let's have a look back at the Hi-Tec Oils replay. Are we even going to see it? I don't think we're going to see the cause of it. We're on the Kubota car at the time. So look to the top of the screen. Oh, he's already gone. Yeah, you know, that would be unusual for him to do that on his own.
Yes, it would be.
Let's just say that.
I totally agree. And there's a lot of cars trying to squeeze into turn 2 there, so...
It's possible that somebody might have given him a little bit of a Liberace and the old keyboard got turned around. We'll try and find out more about that. What we do know is that Josh Haynes doing the job. Now, the points for this, Haynes 228. This is the live ladder kind of situation for the round. Thomas second, Gardner third. It has absolutely been all one-way traffic, though, for Jackson Rice as he continues to drop down the order, and he's in the pits. So I think we may hear from Stephen White very soon. I think he's in the pit area. Quick look back at the replay. Oh! It looked like Gardner.
Yep, it did.
Looked like Gardner gave him a helping hand.
And then everybody's everywhere.
Genie ended up with a grill full of grass clippings. So I don't know if we get a chance to look at that again, but it certainly looked like the 22 car of Brad Gardner got a little bit into the rear quarter panel and turned Rice.
And that will be one for someone else to sort out later.
Yeah, poor old Elliot Barber, who's hoping to make the flight on time. There's going to be some kind of investigation that will go on here as we now see Rice up behind Paul Hadley. Slips by on the inside. Nice run as he goes by the immaculate IES Motorsport team. Rob, it's a quick trip for us down to the pits with Steve-O. Interesting stuff, Steve.
Yeah, we got you, Wade. So, yeah, look, we've unfortunately found to the inside of this rim, which we'll pop over. You'll notice that the bead's been broken over here with the contact. Yeah. So, unfortunately, that's the flat tyre and that's Jackson's race.
Yeah, so no real surprise to see that there's a post-race investigation, a PRI. So Elliot Barber will have to take a look. He'll have to be, well, Quincy. Remember Jack Kluger?
Yes, I do.
He'll have to do a bit of, not an autopsy, but he'll certainly have to really pick that whole incident apart and see was there contact or not. Haynes, you think he's enjoying this right now?
Definitely.
Clear racetrack. Got a flat left front tyre in that previous race. That's what caused the car to not turn in that right-hand direction, because the way you load the cars, the weight and the balance of the cars, it's like a transverse situation. So when he turned right, all the weight went onto the left front corner. When you got a flat tyre, the thing right there wouldn't turn. So that robbed him. He managed to still limp home in second, and he will be looking really strong for the round win here now. Dylan Thomas in second. Brad Gardner 1 point behind him in third. Mark Crutcher. Crutch is leading these Serco Masters class points over Rusty Wright. There's only 2 points in that when they came into this. Nice job from Jackson as well. Nick Bates missing from this one. They thought it was a gearbox. Turns out it might have been a diff. And unfortunately, we're missing. It's been a brutal weekend. You know how that works, Rob, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Brad Gardner, maybe not on the Dream Team Christmas card list at the moment. It's not 100% proven that there was contact. It just looked odd. You can see a bit of damage there as well on the Dylan Thomas car.
And I would say that's from that. There's a bit of damage to the front left of car 27 as well.
Yeah, but again, I think that was Gartner's touching of that right rear quarter panel, if that is what happened to Jackson Rice. Great to have your company here from Warwick in Queensland for Morgan Park Raceway. This is a really good facility. It's a busy racetrack, got good pit facilities. I like the sort of out-grid system that they've got here. It's a very intimate circuit. Although it's country, it's got a lot of cool big smoke sort of attitude about it.
Definitely, definitely.
Here we go. Jackson Rice boring 2 eye holes into the back of the Castec Mustang. Rusty Wright in behind Mark Crutcher, the Serco Masters class. That battle is on. Cheney in behind. Oh, wow. Jackson is closer and closer. Whoa! And here comes the move.
I think it's on. He's got him.
Does he wave? Does he wave? Gardner will probably give the corner up. Smart thinking.
Yep.
That part of the racetrack, look how much gravel has come onto the racetrack from that incident.
Exactly. And that's all around the track in spots.
And that part of the racetrack in particular, that would get your attention because you sweep in alongside a concrete wall that kind of sweeps out in front of you.
Absolutely. And going under the bridge, you find a lot of the time you've actually got the lock off. You're almost the steering wheel straight and just letting the car drift out to the edge.
Oh, what a pleasant feeling.
It is if there's no gravel on the road.
What is it like to do what you're doing now compared to driving the race car? Does this give you an entirely different perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I could do a bit more of this. I still would like to be in the seat.
You haven't finished spending Jill's money yet. She's out there somewhere listening. I can see it there.
She's looking at us now.
Well, she's wearing the orange road cone orange, so it's very difficult to not spot the lovely Jill Leonard, your lovely, long-suffering wife. You wore her down and you've been spending her money ever since.
Yep, exactly.
This kid is class in a lot of ways. The way he presents, always got a smile on his face, very presentable team, very professional team, and the kid is fast. I really enjoyed his battles last year with Jet Johnson.
I was just going to say that myself. Once his car's going right, he's on the pace.
Sweet looking hot rod, isn't it?
Yep.
Absolutely
Love
stands out, that bright green. And of course, in the family, big Dick Johnson fan. So they actually had the 17 last year, and Jet ran the 117.
Yep.
And now he's gone to 37 to run his own number and his own identity. The working lap 18 of 20. This kid from Canberra doing a mighty fine job. Yes, it was made easier for him, no doubt about that. At the moment, he will win the round by 17 points over Dylan Thomas and Mark Crutcher after that spin earlier.
And he's holding his own. He's still got a bit of time ahead of Rusty and Hayden Jackson. They seem to be holding their position, so I think that's the way they will finish unless something goes wrong.
Still a lap and a half for him to spin out, Rob. What are you talking about?
Yeah, don't want to do the commentator's curse thing.
Have a look at, I'll go down to Matty Cav in the pits.
Come down here with Alfie, just quickly and catch up with, obviously, Josh Haynes' granddad. Great weekend for him, and now he's leading.
Absolutely, and daylight second.
What's the celebration going to be like tonight?
I'm not going to tell you, but it'll come out of a bottle.
There's only a couple of laps left. We'll let you watch.
I better get into it.
Get on you, Alfie. Here I was thinking he was going to say just a warm Horlicks and an oatmeal biscuit and I'll be off to bed. But no, Matty, he's probably looking for some methanol moonshine right now to get on it.
We've also had a change of position. We've got Hayden Jackson up in 4th and Rusty's back to 5th. And Hayden is chasing Crutcher.
This is a neat little battle. And look at Jackson Rice.
Ooh,
he is in there as well. So
Cheney's closed the gap.
In behind the serial killer. Rusty Wright. And I say that meaning breakfast cereal. He's probably going to ask me to stop saying that after this weekend. It might affect his social reputation. Nice drone shots from this gorgeous part of the racetrack. It's an amazing venue. I love this environment. I love this little town. One of Australia's best kept secrets.
It is. It definitely is.
1 lap to go. This guy is just stomping them. The Beaches Sea-Doo entry onto the final lap. Race 4, round 4 of the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec. He rips by our commentary position. Very smooth.
Yep, very smooth indeed. Considering the times he's doing, he just looks like he's on a Sunday drive, which he is.
Well done, Rob. 1 minute 16.8, Captain Obvious. Isn't it funny how sometimes that occurs to you later after you said it, you go, oh, I can't take that back now. Everybody heard me. Jackson Rice has the fastest time, 1 minute 16.80. Having said that, Josh Haynes has done a 1:16.84. So about 0.04 of a second quicker is Jackson Rice.
And I think the next quickest time is, no, it's only 0.2 behind. That's Dylan. He's doing a great job as well.
Boy, we're into the business end of this one right now. So round winners will be Haynes from Rice and Thomas at this point. So when you look down, there you go. So Rice has 221 points. He will actually pick up second. Josh Haynes with 228 and Dylan Thomas with 211. But what a job for his granddad's birthday.
Fantastic.
Alfie will be on the Terps already, I'm pretty sure. Congratulations to all the team. Dylan Thomas, solid job for him. Mark Crutcher, you won't get too excited, he's got to come and get the checker yet.
Another corner to go.
Well done, Josh. Left arm out the window.
Such a nice kid.
Absolutely. No, look at this. Hayden Jackson right on Crutcher's tail here.
He's got enough gap.
Hayden.
Hold it. He closed up at the end.
He really did. Whoa, look at that.
Great finish. Oh, it's coming.
Whoa. He nearly pinched it.
That is close.
That would have been Hayden's best ever result. He almost picked up third. 0.087 by a layer of chrome on a Harley. That guy is our winner, Josh Haynes. Just superb. And he will be very, very hard to beat. If I remember rightly, the last time we raced at Sydney, he had mechanical issues early in the weekend and then just smoked everybody in the latter part of the weekend. So we know he's quick around that place and he will take the win. Jackson Rice will be second for the round. Dylan Thomas will be third. Brad Gardner, well, fourth at the moment. Let's call that unofficial. Well done, Mark Crutcher. Well done, Hayden Jackson. How about Rusty? Nice job in fifth. Graham Cheney, sixth. The birthday boy, Matt McKellan, puts the Kubota Mustang up to seventh. Greg Keane, Canada's fastest TA2 driver, in eighth. Jackson Rice got back to ninth as a result of all that. Paul Hadley was a lap down. Unfortunately, DNS's for Nicholas Bates. Zach Lachalpo, Rob Leonard, thank you for joining me, mate. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, anytime.
Here's Cool Shots down live in the pit lane. There's Josh. I reckon
Dad.
I reckon Alf might
outdrink
him this weekend. Bit of experience. There's proud dad. Very, very cool moment. There's his beautiful mum, Kylie, as well, just off to the left.
They're both happy.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is absolutely what it is all about right there. And there's Granddad. Oh, that's so cool. That moment there makes my weekend. Look at that.
One of the best videos I've seen is Josh taking his granddad for a lap around Sydney Motorsport Park.
Absolutely. Smiles all round. An amazing job for that guy, that is for sure. And they're all pretty happy with that. Elliot Barber just gave me a nervous look in through the door just in our driver standards observer. He's going to have to go back and somehow make sense of all that and work out what he's going to do with the Gardner and Rice incident. Let's go down to Matty Kavanagh. Matt, boy, that had a bit of everything, mate. And are you going to have a drink with Alf? That's the big question.
Oh, we'll definitely be catching up with Alf a little bit later, I reckon. There'll be a few of us here in pit lane. But, yeah, we're here with our round winners, Dylan Thomas, super consistent, ended up third this weekend. We've got Jono Jennings from the Hi-Tec Steel Framing to come and give you your trophy. Come through here. Jono, congratulate Dylan Thomas.
Appreciate it.
Mate, congratulations, third place. Tough weekend.
Yeah, we were struggling a bit for the weekend. In fact, our pace wasn't too bad, but our starts were horrible. And you know, first race was okay. We got through. We got the third there. Didn't have the pace of the front two. I mean, Jackson was ripping all weekend. So and Hainsey was getting, was pretty quick also out the gate. So we were disappointed with our pace in the first one. Or we're happy with it, but we were doing close enough. But our starts were terrible. And we got caught up on every start. Luckily on that last one, Jackson got caught up. Poor Jackson, but it helped us out. So I'll take it.
Well, how's it look going into Sydney though? A track that you're familiar with?
Yeah, we've done pretty well at Sydney Motorsport Park over the years. Got a couple of lap records there in my younger days, but I'm a bit older and fatter now, so I guess we'll have to see how we go. These young bucks are coming up and really sticking it to us old blokes.
Yeah, big weekend for the CXC Mustang. Anyone else you need to thank?
Yeah, well, obviously want to thank the boys, Remy, Brendog and Archie and the boys back at home, even Carter and Thomas. Good job, buddy. Little fella come out for his first race weekend. So, obviously CXC Racing, Sensational Kitchens. Without our sponsors and the support of the boys, we can't do what we do.
No, definitely not. We can't wait to see you in Sydney. It's a few months away, so you get a bit of time to clean the car up and go over it.
It needs a bit of a clean-up.
There we go, Dylan Thomas third for this round. Next up, though, was an unfortunate final race for Jackson Rice, but he finishes the round second in the points, and it's just accumulating. You're in front of Dylan Thomas, though, because you're trying to catch him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, like I'm gutted to say the least, but you know that's motorsport, and we're just gonna have to pick my socks off and move on. So you know, awesome. You know, congrats to the boys and especially to Josh. I mean, he drove a really hard race all weekend and kept me pushing, and we're just gonna have to go into S&P and try and scrape some points back.
You've got to take away a lot of confidence from those first couple of races, don't you? Though you're really aggressive, got the move done early, and got out in front.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think we was taking it race by race and sort of play by play, but I think we came and we did what we're going to do. It's a shame about that last one, but there's definitely positives to take away from the weekend.
And have some new people on board this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we can't do this without our sponsors, so a massive thank you to Bob Selby Wood, the guys at Radio Industries, and all our sponsors that come on board. You know, we can't do it without them. So.
Well, let's bring John in from Hi-Tec Steel Framing, give you your award. Good to see a smile still on your face, Jackson.
What else can you do, man? If you don't smile, you cry, so.
We'll see you at Sydney Motorsport Park in a few months.
Awesome. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All right, now let's a round of congratulations here. He's got the most team members, so we're going to hear a whole heap of noise for Josh Haynes, our round winner here at Morgan Park Raceway. You got a big smile on your face, mate. What's that from?
I'll tell you what, that's better than getting the last Tim Tam in a packet. That was the best race. Had a blinder start. Obviously, it's tricky here around Morgan Park. It's really tight. So I was trying to get Jackson around the outside at turn one, which I did. Really sad to see Jackson, you know, get in an incident. You know, we're close out there, but you never like to see that happen to anyone. So I'm sorry for Jackson. I'd just like to thank my whole team. Rob from Herzog, I know he's watching at home. Beaches Sea-Doo, my major sponsor. All the other sponsors. Happy birthday to Arnie Norma. And yeah, I seriously can't thank my whole team enough, so it's been unreal.
Tell us what it's like battling out there with Jackson those first couple of races. You got him in the top 8 shootout, but he came back at you hard.
Honestly, it's been some of the hardest racing I've ever done all weekend, you know. Like, we are so close that you don't know what you actually have to look for to be there. So we slowly chipped away at it all weekend, and obviously it's great to get a win in the end there. We didn't quite get the battle we wanted, but yeah, super happy and grab some good points for the championship.
What do you think it's going to take when we go to Sydney Motorsport Park next on the 13th and 14th of October? Are you going to be up the front? Who do you think is going to be your biggest challenger?
Same challenges as always. It's Thomas, Rice, us three. Although that's happened, he's still going to be there. So we've got to keep a level head. We've still got 2 more rounds to go. We need to play it safe. And yeah, at the end of the day, keep it on the black stuff and keep getting some points.
Well, I think your granddad's got a bottle to share with you tonight, but we'll bring in Jono here from Hi-Tec Steel Frame and give you your award.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And what a drive there from Mark Crutcher as well to get the Serco Masters Award. Big drive from him this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at your Hi-Tec Oils highlights of the previous 2 races, race 3 and race 4 of the TA2 Muscle Cars Series, framed by Hi-Tec Steel Frames. And boy, it's been busy to say the very least. This is a look at the last 2. A bit of a deja vu feeling about it when you go down into the turn 1. This is the last turn 1 incident that we had in this last race. And this is where it all got UGLY. You ain't got no alibi, ugly. Genie, he just charged through the lawn clippings. Everybody else took a base. Oh yeah, there's no, I'm sorry. That's the angle.
Not much doubt about it.
But officer, you know what I mean?
I'll leave that to Elliot.
Just hand me your license. And here is where you saw Jackson storming back through the field. And this guy continued to blaze away. He is going to be really fast at Sydney Motorsport Park. I am sure that we'll have a field under lights at Sydney, well over 20 cars. I know that's pretty, you know, crystal ball of me.
Yep.
But I think we're going to be coming out of the woodwork to run with us on that October 13-14 weekend, Rob. There is Paul Hadley. Here's the moment. It looked like he gave him a little touch. Did the car go a little unsettled just then? Like,
it did.
Maybe it's like Remember Me, the old Rowdy Burns, Cold Trickle.
Knocking on the back door.
Exactly right. Dylan was far. I love this. Just blazing it up. His young son Carter is off to America with Dylan later this year. Very talented young motocross rider. And Carter looking for a big career in motocross. His old man's very good on 4 wheels, so maybe Carter will be even better on 2. That was a look back at our highlights. Sydney Motorsport Park is going to be an absolute monster. October 13 and 14 under lights. Can't wait to get lit with the TA2 Muscle Cars Series and, of course, our great friends at Hi-Tec Oils for the Super Series this year. On behalf of all the team, it's Wade Orn just saying goodbye. See you next time. Leave the speeding to us.